Hey guys, I already started plying this before I realized that this would be a great time to do a spinning tutorial for plying. Now this is the alpaca I've been working on. Basically all I did was I took the two ends and I tied them into a knot. And because I'm working from two different balls, I took the inside because I tend to spin finer at the beginning and a little bit bigger at the end sometimes. I just know that as my spindle gets heavier, as I'm packing more yarn onto it, I tend to spin heavier towards the end of the ball. So I put the end of one and the beginning of the other, and I'm spinning them together. So just some little tips, like this is going to go way faster than spinning a single. And I like to test my plies, so I'll do a little arm's length bit here, and that should be good. It should drape like this, but if you bring the ends closer together, they'll still loop. So you still have a little, because there's always going to be residual twist in your singles after they've been sitting up. So you're going to have residual twist in your singles. So if you do it completely balanced, 100% completely balanced, and it does not twist like this, that residual twist from your singles is going to make your yarn now imbalanced. So I like to just, this is balanced, and when it does this, it's balanced. If it just stays like, ply a little bit more. If it just stays like this, that's not enough twist. And that's just my rule of thumb. I totally just dropped my spindle. And yes, I use my mouth to hold my spot in places. It is a thing. So basically I'm going to put just a little bit more twist in this. Just very, very quickly run through it. Also, so I mentioned this in my spinning video, that I always spin my singles clockwise and then I ply counterclockwise. Very important. If you were to do the opposite, I'll get to the end of this and I will show you. I actually got a little bit of Tangle Edge, which happens when you drop it while you're plying. And I totally did the silly thing and dropped it while I was plying. Then what I have right here, continuing counterclockwise. And again, I'm going to show you how to test it. That's just a little bit too much, so I'm just going to move my fingers. And honestly, the reason why that thing tangled up on me, and this was such a noob mistake, I should have known better. It's very important to hold your ply securely and to not let that twist get here. Totally. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and if I hadn't goofed, I probably would not have remembered to stress that to you. So that's a good thing. Now, I have put my ply all the way down here, like I've pinched it and I rolled it all the way down here. I am going to spin this next very small portion. I'm going to spin it clockwise the wrong way on purpose to show you what it will look like. And whenever I go to test it, check it out. You see how it's like unraveling? Sometimes it'll scrunch. It'll just, the whole strand will just scrunch. Other times, like this. And let's loosen this out a little bit. Let's put a little bit more in here and see what happens. Again, you have that curl. You're not getting a balanced yarn out of it. And see, you can tell that this right here isn't plied at all. I can stick my fingernail right in between those two yarns, and yet it's still twisting like this. So that's why I say whenever you do your first ply job, and like I still do it on all of my ply jobs, every time I have an arm's length, I do the test. And if it does not make a U and it does this weird thing and completely unplies, you spun that section the wrong way. And I just recently did a spin where I spun an arm length the wrong direction and didn't realize it until I had skeined it, washed it, and I was putting it on my ball winder, and I realized, these two things aren't plied. I have this like long section where my yarn isn't actually plied, and I was like, man, I must have plied in the wrong direction a time or two. So it happens. I've been doing this for years, and I just did it. So that's probably another reason why I'm checking in between everyone. But also, with this being alpaca and me having not spun alpaca before, I'm very cautious anytime I do something the first time. Okay, we're good. This one's good. So, I hope you liked this tutorial. All of this advice goes for whether you're 3-plying or 4-plying or just 2-plying like I am. All things are true. And whenever I get done with this, whenever I get to the end, I tie it in another knot. I tie the 2 strings in another knot. And I will say again, I started this off by tying the 2 strings into a knot and then putting that knot here. Now that's really all there is to it. Just spin it in the opposite direction that you originally spun the singles. And I would probably try to do a video on Navajo plying if I can, if you're interested in it. It's also called chain plying. And basically, you just do a really long crochet chain in your hands, a very, very long crochet chain, and you spin your single. You turn one single into a 3-ply by making a very large crochet chain and spinning it. So a very long, loose crochet chain and spinning it. And I'll show you my preferred method of doing that in a little while. It might not be super soon, but I will do it soon-ish for you guys. All right. I hope this video helped you. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please put them down below. And happy crafting. Bye-bye.